do this by position, and we're going to do this keep, sell, loan style. So we'll evaluate the position. We'll each say our options for keep, sell, loan, and then we'll keep everything moving from there. So what do we got first? What's our first position that we're going to review for keep, sell, loan?
Should we start
Keeper,
at
isn't it?
goal? Yeah, start in goal and go rounds. Let's do it.
So we'll start with the goalkeeper depth chart. We've got Paskalakis, Cholakis, Karagiris, and Papadoudis. So we'll start with Martial. Go ahead, buddy. Keep, sell, loan. Start from the top.
Well, I wouldn't touch anything with the goalkeeper situation because we've seen this season that it can evolve really, really fast. The good news is that Christensen is out of contract. He's gone. I think it was taking games from Solakis. Probably 10, 15 games took from Solakis over like 2-3 years maybe. I'm expecting Pashalakis to be the starter this season. And Solakis probably will play around like 15 game, 20 game maybe. And probably we'll need a B team goalkeeper, which probably will be like Karagiris or Papadoulis. I don't really know what's the plan for the B team on this position, but I hope the club won't go for third goalkeeper experienced profile, because every time it's very useless. Solakis is more than ready to be the number 2.
So you're keep then for Paskalakis, Cholakis then.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure that
even
was clear.
if I'm a little bit scared with Pashalakis because I know that it's during the qualifiers that he's able to fuck it up, like he did with PAOK after the titles, for example.
God.
It's when you get confident that he starts to fuck it up. So let's see.
Lambro, keep, sell, loan for your goalkeepers. Which ones? What are you doing?
I keep the first two, and I get rid of Karagiris, who's on loan to some shitty team in the second division. I let him, so many shitty academy goalkeepers from Olympiacos have gone on having terrible careers. Just let him do that. I'd take Papadoudis or whatever for the B team, and honestly, I would take Orestis Karnesis or something, 40 years old. I disagree with Martial. Bring him in to monitor. No, I'm just joking. I think, but you do need one more goalkeeper. But yeah, I'm just waiting for Paskalakis to have a moment, like Martial said. But yeah, I'd keep the first two. Other two, it's okay.
Costa, go ahead. Your goalkeepers, keep, sell, loan.
I think this is literally the only position where we don't have an issue this season. So Paskalakis, Dolakis. Some of the people commenting, Karagiris, you are correct. Actually, I thought it was a loan to Prodeftiki, but it's actually a sale. Like we sold him for 150,000 according to Transfermarkt. Anyway, so we do need a third. Don't know if that can be Papadoudis. I think Stournaras has been starting for the B team. So we might pick up like an Irvin Lemons type goalkeeper or a Butina, like the Croat that we had a couple of years ago. I don't know. But I think we're set, like Paskalakis, Dolakis. I do agree, like you guys know how I feel about Paskalakis. I'm the only one that wanted him when we got him, as I've said many times. But yeah, you are right. Like he can have those erratic, unpredictable moments when he is too high on confidence. Let's see. But I think we're set. Like I think a goalkeeper is keep, and I think we need one more.
Yep. I'm going to agree with you guys there. For me, both Paskalakis and Cholakis are keep. Karagiris, we got something out of him more than I expected. My answer would have been for Karagiris and Papadoudis. I don't really care. Do what you're going to do because I didn't believe they have more of a future than they already do with Olympiacos. So you move on to the next with them. And I think it's about as easy as that. So it seems like we're all kind of in agreement here. Keep, sell, loan for the goalkeepers. Maybe you bring in a third, a veteran keeper, another veteran keeper. So who knows? Or maybe just another prospect to come in behind Cholakis and Paskalakis. But That's probably the one position that we don't require a whole lot of surgery on, which makes it the easiest segment of this to do. Up next, we're going to do let's do right back. I won't keep the banners up because it cuts Lambro's face off, and then everybody forgets he's here. So we will do right back next. And you know what, Lambro, you go ahead and go first. Keep, sell, loan. Rodinei, Retsos, and Nikolic.
Keep Rodinei, release on a free Retsos, and keep Nikolic. Keep Nikolic, surprisingly. I don't know. Nikolic, I don't know. I'm in the air about release on a free with Retsos, but I think keep for the preseason. That's mine. Martial?
Well, I do agree, and I'm surprised Nikolic didn't get the chance to at least be on a mission with the first team, because he's probably the only right back we have at the club apart from Rodinei. I mean, real right back that have played as a right back for years. And I'm not sure it will be in the first team because we probably signed someone at this position, but he has to stay with the B team because B teams for me needs at least 1 or 2 players like that. I don't know how to call them, but it's like experienced player for the B team. They aren't good enough to be in the first team, but also they will be the pillars of the B team. And I think he has a role in the club. He's quite loved and he's like a nice guy, working guy, so he deserves to stay. And Retsos, well, it's sad because he looks like a lovely guy, but I think professional football is over for him. The best he can expect is doing what Mantatis is doing right now, like playing first division very far away. I mean, like northern of Europe, or I don't know. But his brother probably more talented by now.
Costa.
He has
sorry,
to go.
Marcel. Costa, go ahead. Keep, sell, loan. Right back.
Rodinei keep, obviously. Then Retos is a hard one, man, because like you could be of the view, like Martial said, that professional football's over for him. I think it's make or break season for Retos. He's versatile. He can play left back. He can play centre back. He can play right back when he's fit, if he's fit. So I think it's make or break for him. You can't loan him. You can't sell him. So you have to try and see what you can get from him. So going into preseason, it's keep for me. And Nikolic, he's been on loan to Chania, I think, some years ago. He's been a regular for the B team. I can't say. Hard to say how old he is now. Probably, you can't. I mean, what's he worth on the market? Not a lot. I don't really like our options at right back. I don't like Retsos is in the depth chart on the right because he can play there, and Androutsos is out of contract. So I expect Retsos is going to be more of an option at centre back. But we need to sign someone. We need to sign a player at right back for sure. For sure,
22.
we need a right back.
No, yeah, I think you're on the right track there. I mean, even for me, like, and I don't know how everybody else feels about this, but Rodinei, as much of a breath of fresh air as he was when we brought him in.
Did we just lose Adi, or is that just
Am I the only one that lost him?
No, he's good. Oh, we lost him. Where is he? Adi, you're back.
Am I back? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Oh, fantastic. I have no idea what happened. But I was just saying, Rodinei, we have to bring in another person. Rodinei, for me, towards the end of the season, was losing it a little bit. Retsos, it's unfortunate. It's not like you want to keep him because you want him, but you don't have a choice. Like, the guy's in a wheelchair. Who's gonna take him? Who's gonna loan him? So you're stuck with him because I doubt he's not gonna cut his contract just out of the kindness of his heart. So you're stuck with him. So
stick Vrusaya right back again.
Oh, here we go. There we go. That's another option. But yeah, at the very least, we have one pickup that we need to make for the right back position. TF91, I think Saliakas will be a good fit. Didn't he just sign for somebody? Or am I losing?
He's not
St.
coming
Pauli
back
in
to
the
Greece.
summer, last summer.
He signed
go.
San Pauli, last year. 33 games, 4 goals, 4 assists.
Well, we'll see what happens in the right back situation, but it sounds like it's another summer of fullbacks and are going to be a problem again.
I actually just spoke with a good friend, and he told me both. Why are you all laughing? I haven't even said anything yet. Both Diogo Figueiredo and Bruno Gaspar are available if needed this summer. They are needed just in case.
Oh, Jesus. All right. Costa C, get us started. Left back depth charts, a little bit more interesting. Keep, sell, loan. More interesting options here, but go ahead. Costa C, let us know. Left back, what have you got?
Oh, man, this was going to be quite an interesting one with Leidner coming back before he got injured. But honestly, looking at it now, Leidner's not going to be back until January, back in training. So that's a real shame. I won't comment on him. Kitos is the only one for me that's keep out of those left backs. He got a good amount of game time at Omonia. I know Omonia want to keep him. They were happy with him. He played right back, played left wing, played right wing at Omonia. So he's the only one that's a clear kind of keep for me. I don't want to be hard on Oleg, but for me, surely he's one of the sellable players on the roster. You can get maybe 3.5, 4 million for him. Don't know what his market value is. I haven't checked. But for me, yes, time to sell. Is he better than Ramon? I don't know. I'm really not sure about Ramon. Some games that we saw, he's definitely got a great deal of energy. He can bomb up and down the wing. He's fit. Was I impressed with his crossing ability? His footballing, his technique, not so much. So Reabchuk sell, Ramon loan, Kitos keep is the only one I keep out of those.
Okay. Marcial, go ahead.
Well, I totally agree with Costa because Ramon looks like the kind of player that we really love to buy and put into waste 6 months, 1 year later because it's too average to be a starter over the years. But he has to play games, and I knew when we brought him in. I think we brought him in January, right? The season was probably almost over at that time, and it was obvious that it was going to be at least not needed in the summer, because if we were to rebuild the team, which is the case, you expect someone better to come, even especially if Reabchuk leaves, and it doesn't left much space for Ramon. So I would loan him, and Kitsos keep, and Oleg sell.
Lambro, keep, sell, loan, left back.
The thing about Ramon is he also has a non-EU passport. He's like a complete waste of space because he's never going to be your starting left back. So you're going to waste a non-EU spot on your backup left back who is mediocre up to this point. I would loan him. Oleg, shock, I would sell him too. I just don't see the point of dragging this guy out for the qualifiers again. I just do not want to see him again at this point. I think for the best move Olympiacos could do maybe is keep Kitsos. They'll probably keep Reabchuk too. But I'd love to see Kyriakopoulos. I heard he's available from Bologna. Just a new left back, I'm getting tired of seeing Oleg every year trotted out. We know what's going to happen. But you look at the rest of that team and you kind of want to keep some stability with Reabchuk, Pascalakis, Rodinei into the qualifiers, because this next position we're going into is a shit show. So, yeah.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. For the sake of, you brought up a really good point, Lambro, about the passport, and that's why Ramon for me If all things were held equal, I would loan him out at least. I never thought that he was going to do anything special for us. At least this past season, I always saw him as more of a project player. But he just turned 22. He's not like a young guy anymore. So how much more are you going to see out of him? He's quick, physical. That's really all you get out of him. Kitsos just turned 20. I see a lot more potential out of Kitsos than I do a guy like Ramon. Plus, he's Greek passport. I think we have to keep him. In an ideal world, if Leitner didn't get injured, we keep both of them. And I say, you know what? We bite the bullet and we move forward with those two guys. But unfortunately, that's not the case. If you believe the rumors that we got a $5 million offer for Rebchuk, you're just as furious as I am. But I don't think at this point, I think he's the only player we could get money for. And then we have to get another left back again. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I doubt he would ever come back to Greece, but I wouldn't say no at this point.
Would you guys take Giannoulis?
Right now?
Yes.
Depending on the price,
man.
I would, yeah.
Didn't he
For
like his
Yakopoulos,
leg
you had
ripped
the
off?
buyout
His leg
option
ripped
of
off.
3.5 million.
Yeah.
Bologna.
But
But he's not
that's
coming back
TF91. I also remember that interview he gave to guys at the end of last season.
He would rather go to
Rightfully
French League 2.
so. He has no fucking interest in coming back to Greece. What a shit show. So
Yeah, so that's what I would do. The only keep I have on that list is Kitsos. I'd sell Rebchuk. Leitner's injured, so he doesn't count, and then Ramon I'd loan. So that's the situation with left back. Yet another transfer that needs to come in. So we're already looking at least 2 transfers that need to be made for fullback, for right back.
We agree on everything so far, don't we?
yeah, I don't think we've had
at
a
least one.
disagreement.
Okay.
Except yeah. So
Let's see where we disagree.
well, I think this
This
might be
one,
one that maybe
yeah.
we have a little bit of a difference of opinion. So let's do center back up next. And this time we'll get started with who started the first time? Martial with goalkeeper. I'll start this time because I don't think I've started yet. So we've got Cisse, Ba, Doi, Retsos, and Bagalianis. Well, my opinion on Retsos hasn't changed. You're forced to keep him because of the nature of things the way they are. Goutsidis, look, if it were me, I'd like to see just more young guys be put up, but I don't think it's going to be the case. I think we'll see Doi. The situation with Cisse and Ba is very interesting. I wouldn't be surprised if we sell them, but at the same time, we need things everywhere. If they want to stay here, I'd keep them, to be honest with you. But I don't see a scenario in which they do stay. And we look at the assets that we have to sell that we can make money on. We're not going to make as much as we could have out of a guy like Cisse, but I think at this point, I sell Cisse Ba. I get 2 new center backs. I keep Doi. I don't get a choice with Retsos. I promote Bagalianis. I bring in 2 new center backs. And Koutsidis, how old is he now? 18, 19?
I think he's 18.
He probably keep him at least in the B team. Martial, you go next.
Well, as much as I love them, it's more than time to sell Cisse and Ba because it is what it is. I mean, their time in the club is done, and for the good of all parts, it has to change. And Doi looks the only guaranteed starter for the summer. We will need 2 center backs, if not 3, but I would say 2 because 2 starters, it kind of solves the issue. Even if I wonder if Ndoi is able to do the season he did last season because he's a midfielder. So I wonder over the time if he's able to stabilize as a center back. Bagalianis is good option, but I think you have better option on the market. If you want to have Greek player, someone like Gutas on a free, for example, would be a good solution for me. Both to be a starter and also Greek one, because I can't remember the last time we had Greek center backs, and I'm not talking about Socrates or Manolas, but maybe the last good one over the year was Siovas, maybe. we would need someone like that, like quite experienced and quite cheap to compare to foreigners. And could see this. I don't really know what he can do, so I have no opinion on him. Maybe alone or B team. Maybe youth league if he can play it. I don't know.
Okay.
And
Real quick.
I don't know.
Sorry, go
maybe
ahead, Marcel.
If a good offer comes for Andoy, I don't know. I kind of feel that this guy can turn. I don't know. He can be super good next season, but also he can flop super bad. I don't know. I have a bad feeling sometimes. Like it's either is going to flop or is going to be a master. I don't know to say the top prospect.
Yeah.
There is no middle
ground with
possibility.
him.
Yeah. He got exposed a few times really bad.
Yeah.
And he's not a center back and et cetera, et cetera. So I see that as well.
Martial, you're killing me with your long pauses. I keep thinking you're done. Then I go to move on to the next person.
But I'll make it short. I'm with Martial. I want to see Cisse and Ba go for themselves. I think they deserve a new project. Doi, I keep, but I am worried if he's your starting center back with some random Spanish guy they find in the market. Retsos, I'm looking at this as, am I comfortable with these players in the qualifier? Retsos, no. If Retsos can't play in the qualifier or be a backup in the qualifier, he needs to go, in my opinion. Bagayanis is Nalu at the bars all day, like a few other of these Greek ones on the list. He's got to go too with the tattoos and bullshit. So for me, he has to go too. So now you're looking at Doi and Kutsidis is the first time I even read the name, to be honest. I'm not going to bullshit you. So that's what you're looking at right there. So we're on the market for 3 or 4 center backs. Don't kill me. Someone's going to kill me. Don't lose Socrates' phone number. I'm sure you guys want to take anyone else in that list at this point. Honestly, I don't know.
We need NBA contracts for the summer.
Yeah, we need like a 10-day contract for fucking Socrates for qualifiers anyway.
So just to clarify,
is free, man.
Oh god, don't start me. Don't start with me right now. Just to clarify, Martial, you want two new center backs, right? You said so. Purchase 2 new center backs. Just to make sure.
Because we've seen last season that probably we had too many center backs.
Right.
4 and 5.
Just clarifying. That's all.
Yeah.
So you say 2. I say 2. Lambros says 4.
I say I want 2. Like I want a Spanish and a Portuguese. That's probably what it's gonna be. And then I want a Greek on a free type thing, like Martial said. Gutas, Olympiacos, I think, is coming available. We want like Thrylos. No, I didn't say that. I didn't say it. It was a joke. No, but you want one of these to be a 4th or 5th center back. Anyway,
got it.
Can we say no to Thrylos?
Yeah, I would say no to Thrylos. I will always say no to him because I hate him.
Thrylos is ready and his phone is close.
Stop.
Alfred Cordone, if you're here. Anyway.
Stop. I hate you.
Olympiakos is free too, I think. He did not renew with Lamia yet.
He's close to his phone and ready to answer when the phone call comes.
Well, real quick before we get Kostas sees keeps sell loan for the center back. There's a couple questions that have been asked about Papastathopoulos and Kalogeropoulos. Guys, both of their contracts are up this summer with no word on renewal. So that's why we haven't included them in here, because as of right now, they wouldn't be available for the plans. That's why they're not included. So Costa, go ahead. Your keep sell loan. So you've already heard both Martial and I have said 2 transfers. Lambro is more 2 plus a free Greek or something. And then what do you got?
I think we need 2 transfers at centre back as well. I look at that list of names and I'm trying to think of defensive partnership. I can't find one. Okay, maybe Cisse Bar, but we've seen it. I think we're done. I think that Labro and Martial said it. I think for the good of their own careers, and it's in everyone's interest that they're moved on. They're out of contract next season. You could say keep Cisse one more. He's still like when he wants to. When he wants to, he's a really good centre back. Very good in the air. He can score goals. Can get you 5-6 goals a season minimum. But I think it's over, and it worries me. The centre back situation really worries me. Gutierrez is in there because we know that he's probably going to get called to go to preseason out of the B team players. 18-year-old left-footed centre back. We'd heard a lot before about Chrysopoulos, who was mentioned by someone in the chat, but haven't heard anything about him going to preseason. There's even some talk that actually he was on loan from Aris and it wasn't a purchase. So, yeah, the only one I really keep is Doi and Koutsidis for the B team. And Retsos because you just don't really he's not sellable. He's not sellable. There's no point loaning him. He's versatile. He's a gamble. He's a gamble for the season, and it could go well, could not. And I also agree with what Marshall said about Doi. And I mentioned it the other day when we did the awards. Like he won most improved player this season, but going into next, you just you don't know depending what kind of coach comes in. If it's a Bordalas kind of coach, he plays with a double pivot. Could he be a defensive midfielder destroyer? Could he play him there? Or is it going to be a coach that comes in and plays 3 at the back? I don't know. I don't quite know how Doi would fit in a 4-4-2, 4 at the back defensive partnership. But I don't know. I'm as I said during the award show, I'm very curious to see how his career evolves going into the next season. But he's the only one I keep. Cisse sell, Bar sell, Doi keep, Retsos keep, Bagaglianis get rid if you can get a good offer, and Koutsidis keep.
There you go. Well, let's up next. We've got center mids. So we're going to start with Martial on this. We have Juan, Bukhalakis, Kunde, Dabo, Fadiga, Agibu, Mari, Kane, Pepe, and Sorlis. A lot of guys coming back from loan. Martial, tell us your keep sell loans here.
Well, the one I will keep first is Huang, of course. Then I will keep Bukhalakis. To me is I don't know how to say that, but I know a lot of people does not like him. But the first time we lost the title is when he was out of the team. I'm not saying he's essential to Olympiacos, but I think he is essential for the Olympiacos as a whole, because that's not the kind of player that complains if he's out of the mission. He's Greek. He counts for the European list, if I'm not mistaken. He's left-footed, and probably he went abroad for the first time since he went to Nottingham. So maybe he changed his mind and will come back different, not being a starter like under Martins, but more in the rotation. And we've seen players like Kasami play this season, so you have space for players like Bukhalakis in the squad. And for the rest, I would keep Hagibu because I like Hagibu a lot. We don't have that kind of profile in the team. I would sell Madi because I do love him very much, but it's the same situation like Cisse and Ba. He deserves to go. He deserves to try his luck elsewhere, not with a loan like in Roma, because those kind of loans is not really a gift for players because it's very difficult to convince the club to buy you. Kunde, I would sell. He has qualities, but I'm not really a big fan of the profile. And for the rest, Kane to me looks like an easy sell because he had a very good season in Cyprus. Do not fear that it will be in Olympiacos by the end of August. Pepe is a very good player. but as Costa would say, is not made for Olympiacos, and probably will have a lot of suitors. So I would probably sell him because it's time to sell now. What do we have? Fadiga and Dabu I would keep. It's not the same profile, but as I said earlier, like the season is very big. Like if we go to Europe, it's like at least 40, 45 games to play. So those kind of players, they can expect to play between, I would say, 15 and 20 games. And the question is like, does the club wants to give this amount of games to players like Fadiga and Dabu, or to have players like Kasami, I don't know, Milivojevic and stuff like that? That's the question. And Sorlis, I would loan him because I've went to the B team against AEK, and I was like, okay, Sorlis is a dad playing with children. Like he was running everywhere, more physical, more technical. He has something, but it's probably the worst position at Olympiacos to break through when you are a product of the academy, because you have always players in the midfield. Even with injuries, with suspension, you won't play. So
It's
I would
tough.
loan him.
Yeah. Lambro.
Yeah, I would keep Huang. I'd keep Bouhalakis until July or till August for qualifying. Kunde I sell. Dabo I loan. Fadiga I keep. Agibu I keep. Madi I sell. Kane I sell. Pepe I sell. Surlis I sell. That's it.
Costa.
Or Surlis I'll loan. Screw it. With option. Something like this. I take that back. Anyway.
Going into a first qualifier on the 10th of August, who the hell do you play? Okay, so like there's no point.
Bouhalakis Huang, man.
Yeah. So, so looking at that list, if it's a two-man midfield, then yeah. Okay, obviously keep Huang. Bouhalakis because he's Greek too, like for the list, like Marshall said. I think that's even a reason to keep Surlis because he's an academy player as well. That counts different.
Yep.
But again, like Marshall said, it's probably the hardest area on the park for an academy prospect to break through. A lot of things have to happen. Just look at Androutos. A guy ended up playing right back as a centre midfielder, attacking midfielder. And you've got this kid, Mouzakitis, who, what's his name? Inigo talked about as well, who's 16, 17 years old, captain of the under-17s, played professionally already with the B team. I don't know like what the plan. It's one of the things I'm really curious about this season is how we treat like some of the players that have featured and done well for the B team, and we'll talk about like Algacin Bar later or Costulas. Like, will these guys get chances? Is it going to be that kind of season? Are Olympiacos fans ready for that kind of season where we give chances to players like this with the risk that we drop points? They make mistakes. Young players make mistakes. They need to. That's how they learn. But we looking at the list very harshly. Juan keep, Bouhalakis keep, Kunde sell. Dabo keep for preseason. Same Fadiga. Keep Agibu, sell Madi, sell Kane. Good season in Cyprus. Pepe, I'm curious, man. Like, yeah, he's not. I don't think he's made for Olympiacos, but it depends. Like, if there's a manager that comes in and knows how to use him and they click, like he's a good player. But otherwise, I think he's sellable, and I think that's it. We need a 6. Mvila is Mvila's going 33. And he's not going to stay, most likely. But he's a big loss. It's a big loss. Like, Mbila was one of the first names on the team sheet. So who replaces him? There's nobody in that list that replaces him. And for me, Dabo and Fadiga, they're fighting for a spot. They're different kind of players, but I think those two are fighting for a spot on the roster, and one of them is going to stay, one of them is going to go, if any of them stay, if any of those two stay.
I'm a little bit different with the some of the less obvious players. But for me as well, Huang is 100% keep. Madi, I don't think you have a choice. He doesn't want to come back. He wants to stay abroad. He's a sell. Bukhalakis, people got mad at me on social media when we reported that his loan, that he was coming back, and I said we don't have a choice. We have to. This guy has to be with us, and people got upset with me because they want him gone. Costa just talked to you guys about Yann Villa. Probably 33, probably isn't going to be around. He'll probably go to the Middle East to get his last big paycheck. The closest person that has the distribution capabilities as Yann Villa in terms of the types of long balls, the accuracy with the long balls and the distance is Bukhalakis. That's the closest person we have that can do that. Koundé can't do that. Dabo and Fadiga, I'm going to be honest with you guys. The coaches that we have coming in, even if we look at Bordalas, neither one of these players are Bordalas midfielders. Neither one of them are in the 6-6 that he plays in a 4-4-2. Neither one fit. Other coaches, I think, would make use of them. Both these guys are really good with the ball at their feet. We did stat profiles on both of them. I love these players. I love both of them. The problem is the coaches that we're being linked with, there's only one or two of them that I think could make use of them in this area of the park. But that's a discussion for a different time. So I probably if I can loan one of them, I loan either Dabo or Fadiga, I keep the other. My preference would be to loan Fadiga, keep Dabo. Agibu, again, based on the coaches we're linked with, Bordalas, I think uses Agibu. If you guys remember his success for us last season against Fenerbahce, I mean, that's right there. That's Agibu's bread and butter. Keeping the line tight, intercepting the ball, and then helping on the counter and getting forward after that. He can run box to box. That is bread and butter for Agibu. Maybe less so the technical part of maybe one touch, faster paced football, but that's a different story. Kane, gone. You got value out of Meta Cyprus, sell him. Pepe, he's got a year left on the deal. He doesn't want to be here, sell. And Thrylos, I keep. And we definitely need to buy a 6 over the summer, and hopefully we get somebody that can do what Bukhalakis does, but better. But I still think you have to keep him because of the Greek nationality. That's how I see it for keep sell loan for the center mids. We're buying one, keeping Huang, keeping Bukhalakis, keeping Thrylos, and one of Dabo Fadiga have to go, and keeping Agibu as well.